Messaging provides access to the properties needed to define a messaging queuing message. Inheritance hierarchy. System.object, System.MarshalByReferenceObject, System.ComponentModel.Component, System.Messaging.Message. The message class provides fine control over message properties to determine sending of messages in a queue and peaking or receiving. Message queue uses the message class when it peaks or receives messages from queues because both the message queue.peak and message queue.receive methods create a new instance of the message class and set the instance's properties. The message class's read-only properties apply to retrieving messages from a queue, while the read or write properties apply to sending and retrieving messages. The message queue class's send methods allows you to specify any object type for a message being sent to that queue. You can use the message queue's instance's default properties to send property to specify settings for generic messages sent to the queue. The type of settings include formatter, label, encryption, and authentication. You can also specify values for the appropriate default properties to send members when you coordinate your messaging application to respond to acknowledgement and report messages. Using a message instance to send a message to the queue gives you the flexibility to access and modify many of these properties, either for a single message or on a message-by-message basis. Message properties take precedence over default properties to send. Message data is stored in the body property and, to a lesser extent, in the app-specific and extension properties. Data is encrypted, serialized, and deserialized. Only the contents of the body property are affected. The contents of the body property are serialized. Change the body or formatter properties at any time before sending the message, and the data will be serialized appropriately when you call send. The properties defined by the message queue.default properties to send property apply only to messages that are not of type message. If you specify the default properties to send property for a message queue, the identically named properties in a message instance sent to that queue cause these default properties to be ignored. Syntax: public class message, component.